Hello, everybody. How do you feel today? A little bit childish? Because the Christmas is here and the lights are all over the city, so let's be a little bit childish. Before we start, my name is Irina MINOIU. I'm coming from Romania, from Bucharest, and beside my day-to-day job, I'm IT Development Center Manager, so doing everything from people management, business analysis, project management, and so on. I am a volunteer with IIBA Romania. How many of you know IIBA? Okay, good, a couple of you. So just give you a little bit of insight on IIBA. It comes from International Institute of Business Analysis. And what they have as objective is to put together as much as possible the knowledge of business analysts and help the one that are doing the job of business analyst be better business analyst. They have a great book called Business Analyst Body of Knowledge. I advise you to look it up, to find it, to buy it, and you'll see that it's something like that. And the first part is quite heavy on what I'm saying, sometimes bureaucratic things about business analysts, but there is a nice part of it, the techniques. There are about 50 techniques in that book, both for soft skills, for data management, for everything that covers the business analyst job, the new stuff related to Agile and so on. Coming up to the Agile, there is an extension especially for Agile business analysis. Starting this year, there is a certification for it. And for the other book, Business Analysis Body of Knowledge, there is also a great certification called Certified Business Analyst Professional. But coming to today's topic. Where it all comes, it is related to how we design our products. No matter if we are talking about website, about an API, a group of APIs, no matter if we are talking about an iRobot that cleans your room, no matter if we are talking even about a booklet. So they have put some thinking in the booklet that you have today in your hands. How it did come to me? Like more than a year ago, I was trying to set my running watch to set the pace interval. And my trainer told me, okay, read the manual. I said, what? Why should I read the manual? If the watch is well designed, I don't need to read the manual. Because I think you all remember that heavy manuals that come with your washing machine, with your hair dryer and so on. I don't find why they are needed. Because if a product is well designed, you do not need that stuff. It makes no sense. And thinking about children, have you ever seen a child receiving a toy and a user manual how to use the toy? It will be stupid. Because generally, the children, they have their own way to find how to use something that you put in their hand, no matter if there is something technical or if it's just a simple box. And usually they are not use it as intended. They're using in a way that you have never thought about it. And what is more surprising and very good about children, they give you instant feedback. And not that, ooh, I like it. It happens. But also, it happens for a child to tell you, I don't like it. It's not what I need now, or it's not something that should be like this. So remember this thing about negative feedback. How many times in your daily job do you really give negative feedback? Keep it in the back of your mind. We'll come back to this. Everything that we keep in your hands should work nicely without thinking about it. I'm taking this as an example. I don't have to look at the buttons. I just feel them, and I'm clicking, and everything goes smoothly. What you see in the picture, it is an ad for the people that cannot see well, and they need the braille books. So as there is very costly and to have a braille book, they come up with this gadget. It has a camera, some small character recognition software, and it just gives you like a tick, 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 so that you can feel it like you are reading a braille book. So you can transform any book in a braille book for people that cannot see. So this is the kind of thing that this kind of design that should be there for everything. And we are supposed, us as grown-ups, as people that are business analysts, should be there to create great things because we are using all the tools and techniques of the trade, the best ones. Intuitive design, design thinking, which is the new trend. A customer journey, so we know from the start how the customer interacts with our product, with our application, with everything. Then we have prototype. In the previous exercise, when you're asked about brainstorming and write the best idea for this application, that was a kind of prototyping. Then, user experience, how the collector would experience the application that is built. Then, interactive design, put everybody in the room and interact with the application as it works. So, all this practical knowledge. So, what a charity ad collector would know, the cultural knowledge, what he knows about the people he encounters. Involve the end user, never forget about them. Design ops, I advise you to look about, to check this out. The new buzzword is DevOps, like continual improvement, continual deployment. Look also at design ops, because it starts not from the design phase and cascade until you deploy in your cloud application. Then you have persona that were mentioned before, and participation design and co-design. With all this, all the nice tools that are using right for the right reason, have you ever heard about this? I think not, and they invested a lot in them. And some of them were the gold children of California at some moment with Silicon Valley and so on. Like, for example, Friendster. It was there before MySpace and Facebook. Nobody has heard about them. And how on earth this happens? Because as we grow old, as we learn, as we are part of the society, we are starting to constrain the way we are thinking. So we are not so creative, we are not so outgoing as we were before as children. So there is a story. Let's compare, let's give the same problem with the same objective to a team of children and a team of graduates of 5-star MBA. So the story goes like this. You give them 20 sticks of spaghetti, 1 yard of tape, some string, and a marshmallow. You know what it is, the marshmallow, right? That candy, it's too sweet for me. So, they have to build the tallest possible structure, freestanding, have the entire marshmallow on the top, so do not eat it. Use as you want, as creatively you can, the materials, and you have 18 minutes to do it. And let's see what it takes. Business school graduates, that's all they could make. Because there is a team, they come from a great MBA, so, okay, somebody needs to be the leader. We have to define all team roles, who does what, in what order are we doing, and so on. So they lose time on this and just putting the rules. And then they have been told, find the best approach and implement only that one. Okay, let's see the kids. Wow. See? I hope you see that they are quite great. Their drawing. What have they done? They try in all the possible ways. And more than that, no one was trying to be the boss. They are just adding, and if it broke, they took another one. And it was great. They repeated this with engineer. The engineer did a little bit better than the business school graduate because they knew something about the structures. And the best were the architects. Okay, that's good. And look, do you watch TEDx on YouTube and so on? Look this up there. You'll find it. And there is also another marshmallow challenge. They are giving to kids a marshmallow and tell them that if you do not eat it for 10 minutes, you'll get another one. Like the 3 years old are eating it immediately, and as they grow up, they become more creative. So somebody just lick it, like have it and eat it, and the ones that are older, they constrain themselves. Constraint, this is the word, and they get a second marshmallow. But the 3 years old, they're just eating it. So, what do you learn of this? Because as we grow, we constrain ourselves. And let's compare a team of children with a team of grown-ups. Why we need this type of comparison? Because we, as business analysts, we have an important role as facilitator in workshops, in elicitation workshops. We have to gather information from our participants, the good information, and not only this, things that are pertinent. And people might hold back. We need tools, tricks to make them unleash their child inside them and to come with the best idea. So not to be constrained when you have a brainstorm. And in order to make your workshop successful, you need to see, okay, this is my team. If they were all kids and they would be like creative and so on, where would be the difference? What would happen? So that's why I'm putting in parallel the children teams and the grown-ups teams to see where the difference is. Okay, first one, belonging to the team. A team, it's creative when people go along. If you ever observe your children playing in the park, you have seen that when somebody is not fitting in the team, either will go by himself or will be excluded by the others. Okay, you are in your corporate job. You have a team member that you know that it's like toxic for everybody. You cannot remove him or her from the team. You have to speak with harsher, you have to send him to classes, you have to send everybody else to the classes so he go along with the team. Think about how much time you lose and how much creativity, and this also happens in the moment you have a workshop. You gather people there, you see somebody that is breaking all your workshop, you try to impose the rule, nothing works. You should be able to exclude it, but you cannot. You have to, this is very political and very difficult to have a person removed from the team. Another thing, saving the face. This is not about you belonging to the team, it's about how you perceive yourself. The creativeness of a team grows as people are able to share all types of ideas. What was said before, so even if an idea is stupid, it might be a great trigger for somebody else that will speak after you. So, children always say their minds. They never stop, okay, I might say something stupid. They are not afraid to be judged. Because even if they are judged, after 2 minutes, they'll forget all about it. But us, oh my God, my boss is here. Come on, how can I say that? Oh, if I say that, they'll think that I'm not good enough and I'm not go promoted. Oh, no. So I've stopped myself. I restrain myself. So this is another thing that we have to overcome. Then, willingness to open criticize. I think that it's Christmas, it's story time. Do you know the New Clothes of the Kings, the story by Andersen? Okay, so at the end, a child says the king is naked. He's the only one from the entire story. What is to teach us that the children have the openness to say it out loud. We should have the courage to do the same. Why? Because this will improve the productivity and the quality of the product and the bottom line of our company. And if it impacts positively the outcome of our company, it will impact positively us. So, for children, as I show you in the first picture, it's everything black and white. They are just throwing it away if it's not what they want or what they need at that moment. Us, there is a social norm. There is a fear. If my boss says something stupid, and I know there is stupid because there are tons of argument that is stupid, I cannot say it. So, let's see, as a BA, so these are all struggles that us, as business analysts, when we are in an elicitation process, in a workshop, are facing. So we would like to have a team of children that be open and creative, but we have a team of grown-ups. And the question is, how do I make my team of grown-ups, at least for the day of the workshop, behave as child, and at the end to have together a nice and happy thing, a nice and happy future product. So when I enter a workshop, this is my mantra. As a BA, I want workshop participants to be childlike when solving problems. So this is my goal for the workshop days, always. Because if I give to a child a new toy and no rules at all, no instruction, he'll be creative. But if I just give him also the rules, it'll be do as I'm told, nothing fun. So, unless there is a cabbage, it's Chinese cabbage, and you can put it in some paint and draw flowers. You just cut off the head and draw flowers with it. So you'll just made of salad. No, the children will do something else with it. Okay, so take it one by one, a couple of tools and tricks that would help us to trigger that childhood behavior in our teams, in our workshop participants, in our colleagues also. Opportunity cost. I think you are aware of the concept, and behind it is that question. A simple example. I finish high school, it's American example. I finish high school, I can go to McDonald's and have immediate money, or I can take a loan, go to university, study medicine, and be a doctor. So there is opportunity cost. What if I go to university? I'm losing the immediate money. If I go to McDonald's, I lose a lifetime guarantee income and so on. So how does it apply to people in the workshop? It is a way of breaking the ice in the morning when you start the workshop, and a way to make them know each other and understand and see beyond their titles and roles. You have to ask them a question. Where would you be rather than here? What you'd do rather than being here? Some will say, okay, I would like to be on the mountain. I would like to go shopping. I would like to be cooking. I would like to be at the seaside. I would like to organize my closet. I would like to solve the project I am on. I would like to be at the exam to pass my certification. You can do it in two ways. You can put them in pairs, and after to ask each other, and then the other one to speak about his colleague, or just everybody to say the result to the answer to the entire class. Besides having empathy, knowing each other, it will help you as a facilitator learn. This person is very organized, so if I need information about organizing the project or the product, I need to focus on him. This person is very creative, so I need to focus on him. So behind the reason, there is the place where they said, or the activity that they are saying they would like to do, find the reasons, find something that will relate to your project. So that is your goal as a facilitator in the moment. Learn something. I want to be a seaside. I want to relax. Okay, that person, it's about being cozy. What could do my product about being cozy and nice and warm? Think about this stuff. Then, this is called a bag of stuff. And it's related a little bit to Maslow. What every person not approves, wants, needs more. So how it works? You can have it in a break or also in the morning. Just if you have children, good for you. If not, I hope you have friends that have small children. And take a bunch of toys from them. Bring them, put them in the middle, and give a context. Usually the context is the night in the forest, and it's starting to be windy, and maybe it will rain. And with the stuff that you have on the floor, they have to build a shelter. And everybody will build a shelter. And after that, they will tell you they'll have to tell you why they built that shelter. And you learn things like, I put red petals around it so the fairies of the forest come and protect me. Or, I know there are three trees over there, so I put my bed in that part, or I put rocks around it, or I put some sticks with fur, or I make it very, very, very small, and I just put a rock and I put my head on that. Also, this helps you understand how the person, empathy map that was said before, it might be difficult to have an empathy map to answer the question, but putting the people in the role and asking them to play a game, they will tell you without telling to you. And it is your job as a facilitator to read a little bit of psychology and things like this, and to be able to gather this information, because when the workshop it will be stuck and nobody will say nothing, you'll use this information to ask questions and to trigger the answers. Because if somebody told you that there are three trees in a certain place, that is an analytical person, and at some moment you'll have to ask that person certain questions. Okay. Okay, next. You know, we are told many times to think outside the box. But the question is, why on earth is there a box? There should not have ever been a box. So the thing is, this is also for the brainstorming. It's to make the people at ease with saying stupid stuff. So, and making the wildest connections possible. So for this, you have this technique. There is a book written by De Bono, I love him. It's a very good author, called How to Be More Interesting. And there are a lot of this type of games there. So look it up, De Bono, How to Be Interesting. And this is one of the games there. So it gives you like objects that have nothing to do with each other, and you have to build patterns, or you have to build a way to go from one to another. And they can be very, very creative and also unleash your creativity. So it is said that in a workshop, when the people are stuck and no more idea, let's do a brainstorm because everything will light up. This is better, because it's not related to the product or to the workshop itself. It's on the side. It's very funny, because they will laugh a lot with the stupid thing they will say, and they'll feel at ease to say stupid things about the real product. So try it. And also you can try it with your colleagues, or try it yourself with what you have here, just for a test. Then, it's related to the team on people being excluded from the team if it is needed to be done. The thing is, a table, the way you put the participants at the workshop may influence the way they behave. Even if you do not put the boss in the end of the table, the person that sat there might be the boss. So make sure how you put them around the table. So do not give a person by the way his position more power that it should have. Was said a little bit in the question from the session before, something about adding to the existing application or product. This is about not me in the team, it's about having the team. It is a technique used by a couple of architects in one of the Nordic countries to build playgrounds for children. And they are using children as the architects. So what they are doing, they are taking up the film, like paper, transparent paper, and they put them to draw something. And then they ask a second team of children to come. They put another piece of transparent paper, plastic, and they have to draw on top of it. And so on until everything is built. What is the idea? if you are new on a project, or the projects pass from marketing to sales, from sales to the next, and so on, it might happen, and it usually happens, that the sales says, oh, but it is stupid. It should not be done like this. Oh, come on, we have to do it from scratch. Also, in IT, it's true. Thanks God there is XP and it's shared code and so on, but without this, when somebody new comes in the team, oh, what's this stupid thing? How come? Wow, no, it should be redone. This technique helps you value the work of the people before you, because they done it with the best intention. And as you would not like to have your work put to sent to garbage, neither would they. So use the same. It is very good for prototyping. For designing, for let's say a car or a product or even a website, to try something like the sales or the marketing, and then you take it to the IT, to the administrator, and ask them to draw on top of it. And they are not allowed to, they can modify somehow what it was before, but not not modify the entire structure. So they are obliged to respect the work of the people before them. If they find there is a flaw, a very big error in the current architecture, they can say it and give a reason, but not just dismiss everything and start from scratch. So it's about respecting the other. And coming back to the Bono and the 6 hats. This can be played in 2 ways, and it's a good way to structure your workshops. The thing is, each hat has its own flavor, and do you remember when the people were building the shelters in the wood? They give you information like who is a person that is about facts, who is a person that is emotional, who is a person that is critical. So that's why I say be a little bit of psychologist, learn a little bit about, and then use it further. And the input is great for the 6 hats. So the red hat is about intuition, hunches, feeling, emotions. Okay, I'm afraid here in the wood because the wolf might come, but I'm afraid that the project will be a failure. I'm afraid about a new entry in the market. I think that this merger that happened between those 2 other companies will affect our application and so on. So this is one way of seeing things. The yellow hat, I see the benefits. Okay, the benefit, if I'm going to put, it will be a little bit hard to have a hammock in the tree, but it will help me. It will bring value. There will be a positive aspect. Okay, let's be creative. I put red petals so the fairs come. White, there are 3 trees that will protect me. It's okay. So focus, okay, So okay, I'll put it on a little bit of bed of rock, so if the water comes, I'm not affected, and so on. And there is the black hat that tells you this is not good. What about negative feedback? The black hat gives you the possibility to give openly negative feedback. I don't like it, I can throw it away and say it out and loud. How do you play the game? So you can have it either each participant has 1 hat, and he's always the criticizer. It's always the one with facts, or it's the one it's seeing the value, the one that's it's emotional about it. Or you can have this moment we are putting the white hat on the table, meaning we are talking about only the facts. We are putting the red hat on the table. We are talking about our hunches and our intuitions. We put the yellow. Let's see what are the benefits. We put the green. Let's be creative. Let's create the craziest possible idea. Put the blue. It's focus. Let's humorize things. Put the black hat. Okay, what is wrong? Let's say it out loud. So this allows your your participants to be open, to express without constraint. So say it from the beginning. It is the red hat. Tell your hand it is the black hat. You can be as critical as you want to be. Don't be afraid. You're to criticize, and by the way, make sure to tell your people, criticize the idea, criticize the concept, never the person or the way it was said, or that person's background. So because sometimes people forget and criticize not the idea, but the person, and this is bad. Okay. Gamification. Okay, you can have it. I'll have it also here. So I wait for good questions, so I can give this a T-shirt. So this is the reward way. But what I like in my workshop, I have little bags of things like this that I'm gathering from the companies I'm visiting, and from toys and so on. And I put it on when I open the workshop. I put it on the table, and everybody can take what squeezy toy they want. And also during the workshop, they can throw it one another, so to pass the word, and let them feel like children. Because if you are a little bit playful, you might forget that the restriction that you are in a company, that you are doing that and that, you are able to be yourself. So use toys. Gather them from friends, from, I don't know, from conferences and so on. And because it is also a very good way to break the ice. Because, oh, where it is from? It is from there. Why? There is a story. What? There is a story behind it. So always good. Okay, so gamification. I need questions because you need a T-shirt. No questions. Okay, please. Where are the microphones? They're here. Please. If you don't mind to present yourself to your colleagues and to say a little bit about the line of business that they are coming from. Like, I'm doing business analysis for this type of business. I'm doing business analysis for IT, for banking, and so on. Because I do not know if you know each other. I don't know how tight is the business analyst community in Russia.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. My name is Elena. I'm working as a business analyst in data warehouse
Nice.
planning. In fact, I have two questions. The first one, let me say, I have read business analysis body of knowledge, and the last part with techniques.
And the perspective, I hope.
Yeah. This part is very strict, really, about describing different techniques. Have you ever used these business analysis techniques mixed with childhood techniques? That was my first question.
Okay.
And the second one, how do you think what business analysis techniques can be mixed with childhood techniques better than others?
Okay, these childhood techniques are to open up the atmosphere. So one of the think about the poker that you are using. It's a game. It's very next to the child ones. There is a one. Oh, in the new book there is one with game, board gaming. What's the name? The fact is, there is a technique that we use it also in our company at the yearly meetings we have for designing new products. And the fact we are given an objective, and we are giving a person that are able to create mobile app, or they are designing and so on. And it's a game for us to do it in a certain amount of time and to have some results and to get the points during the way. The techniques I have presented are part of the, you are using as you need in workshops, and workshop is a part of one of the techniques there. You can use a little bit the questions when you have a elicitation in the focus groups that you have there. If you have surveys and questionnaires, you can put nice things in the questionnaire and make it a little more appealing, and also use the gamification there, because if you complete the survey, you'll get that, and you'll have more input from people. So you have, we are talking about process mapping, data flows, and I don't know what type of diagram, this is out of the question. Because this type of, these are for workshops where people are together, so everything that is team related, you can use them. But when we are designing the diagram and doing the glossary and doing the UML, no, unfortunately not. But for the other rest, so when you feel that the people around you are a bit tight, even if in the morning on daily Scrum you can start with something like that. After you feel that okay, it's the new year or something, it's the first Scrum of the year. Okay, let's do something nice when we start, because it will something like that. Other questions? Okay, I have a question there. Oh, me. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's very nice.
Здравствуйте, спасибо за доклад. Я, к сожалению, на русском. У меня следующий вопрос. А как перебороть вот какую-то робость, возможно, в компании на совещаниях? То есть вот на совещаниях у нас участвуют там топы, компания на 3000 человек, и вот выходит тут такая девочка 25-летняя и говорит, а давайте поиграем. Вот. То есть как везде ли применимы вот такие вот техники игровые, возможно, только в каких-то маленьких совещаниях там, с людьми своего уровня, или, в принципе, игровые вот такие техники вообще всегда и везде можно применить, ну, с теми ограничениями, которые вы до этого сказали?
My answer is it has to start from the top management. So you need, it depends a lot on the organizational culture. If the company is smart enough and has good business analysts at all the levels of the company, it will be, because in this case, what you should do, unless you have this type of gamification and openness as a top level, you won't have it ever in at the other levels, and you'll never get good products. So if you have any, let's say, influence on your company, go out, search for a good facilitator, and ask him to come with a plan of workshops and involve the management. Do those workshops for management, and ask her to have this type of games with them, to make them open up. When you are talking top management, I think that you are referring, it is this position, people that are over 40, 50 years old. They grow up in a certain way. And if you are talking, if you have like top management that is 30 years old, I don't think it will be a problem. But there are people that need to change their mentality and to open. And unless you have good facilitator that come and open, like coaching, they will never open. And if you have that type of person in your meeting, you'll have to be a great coach to make them open up. And even if you are working in that company and as a business analyst and you are the facilitator, if they are shy because the boss is there, you have to be courageous. You have to have the courage. and to start with this type of game and to say why this type of game it's needed and what are the benefits, or even just ask the question. Even if the boss is there, you have to be courageous, to have the courage to try it, and you'll see what happens. Because you're a good business analyst. Business analysis is because if you have the courage to ask that question, you are a good business analyst because who understood the trick of being business analyst, who is more about communicator and being a people than knowing the techniques. And you'll, as the business analyst is on the ground, you'll find a job in another company very easily. So have the courage and say it up openly. If they are shy, you have to be courageous. Do I have to get my... Okay.
Hi, I want to ask about agile ceremonies and your gaming testings. Methods. Okay. I think, for example, on daily meetings in our team, we have to speak about problems. Do you know, can I bring some game into this process?
Yes. For me, Scrum, it's very, very strict. And I consider it very incorporating because you have to do in 3 weeks, in 2 weeks, you have to do that and that ceremony. So the nice thing is, I saw one thing. I think you have seen the picture on internet. So the Scrum Master put all of them to sit in plank. Do you know the position on the elbows? So it was very quickly and very fun. And also, you can use this type of things to throw it from one another. It's your turn. It's your turn, or it's your turn. Or add a little bit of gamification to know that there is a small treat at the end of the Scrum meeting, maybe on Fridays or on Thursdays. Who had the most, the story with the most point done, or the one who has the less story points done to get something, or all this, or to give a little something, I don't know, or even to know that on Thursday we start at 9 and at 10 there are cookies or something. Some of us has brought for the entire team, so it will make a certain type of energy, and everybody will look toward the Thursday meetings, and it will be like a little joy, and everybody on Tuesday not, but on Wednesday they will put a little bit more effort in their work so that on the Thursday when they have the cookies, they'll say something nice. So this works always. I said that even when before going, I'm not working Agile, I'm working more Kanban, because this is the type of the company. I know that chocolate works miracles. So my team is waiting for they told me they wanted the chocolate with the bears and the chocolate with the gulls. So I have to bring chocolates. Other questions? Yes, please.
Irina, thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you.
I have a question. How can gamification be applied for a team which members are located in different cities or offices?
I have never tried it, and tell you why. Because gaming, it's about playing together, and I'm working with a remote team. Last year, I had I work with for cloud migration of infrastructures, like about 100 servers in total. And I had like about 42 people involved in. So it was in Paris, in Stockholm, in Helsinki, and in 2 places in Romania. So quite many places. But the fact is, the moment that we met, I was managing the project, and I said if I manage it as project manager, it will never work. And I manage it as a business analyst, taking design thinking in as a model. And I imposed to have about 6 meetings And those meetings were workshop done in a very friendly way, very open. So when you have, the moment that the team is distributed, you can do nothing then. But when you need to have the face-to-face with everybody. So in that moment, you build the bridges and use this type of techniques to break the ice, to make them, to understand each other, what is their histories, what bring them together, because if you find that both one team member and one manager are both fan of running or climbing, they will get together and will start on the side speaking about what is your last marathon and things like this, and brings them together. So you have to do it in the moment they are face to face, but the face to face are very important and are capital. Other questions? Okay. I need to, in this case, I get to? Oh, thanks. So I'll give it like this, for breaking the ice and having 2 questions, and for having a Russian question. Thank you very much, and I'm waiting for you at my next presentation, which is about ending the ice age. Thank you.